Hey there, home sellers. Welcome to the Creative Home Staging Show. I am your host, Kasha McDaniel, and today I want to talk about estate sales and staging your home. Now, sometimes you may inherit a home, whether it's your parents' home, a sibling's home, grandparents' house, whatever it may be. And there's a lot of things in there that are a lot of treasures, as one client likes to put in the nice words, right? So there's a lot of things in there. They don't know what to do with it. They're not quite sure. And so that's where they kind of get stuck in trying to figure out, well, do I do an estate sale first, and then sell the house? Or do we stage the house and then do an estate sale later, donate things? What order should we do this in? Now, if you don't know what an estate sale is, basically, it's a way to show off all your goods that you have in your house. Maybe it's a fine china set. Maybe it's lots of living room sets. It could be furniture of, bedroom furniture. And what happens is that you may use a company to help you do an estate sale, and they'll help you price it. And then they take a portion of that for their commission to help you get the word out, to price it fair for the fair value for things, and they help you with that. Some of them are pretty good at what they do. So an estate sale also allows people to literally walk in the house that everything's laid out on. Like, say, for example, if you do have fine china, you put it out on the dining room table, you put it out in the kitchen, and it's all in the house. It's not outside, it's not in the garage. That way, everybody can see and walk through the house and say, okay, I want that couch, I want that living room set, I want, they can see everything because there's so much stuff, right? So an estate sale is much different from a garage sale than, if there's certain, onesie twosies, maybe you have a garage sale and it's, a lawnmower, some tools, some clothing, some toys, that kind of a thing. That's on a much smaller scale. An estate sale is much, much more. So I had this one potential client who called me and asked me and talked about, what do I do? And my parents died. I now have all these treasures. There's a lot of clutter. I don't know what to do about it. I'm not sure if I should do an estate sale first, or should I, stage it first, right? So there are some options for you, and it really depends on each situation. Some people are cash strapped. Maybe you don't have the effort or the time, or maybe you can't live in that same state where that house is being sold, because maybe you live in one state and your parents lived in another state, right? And so the distance is a big deal, right? So that's where you'll want to take a look and see, how is this going to work for you? Do you have any help on the other side? Do you know people, companies that can help you, whether it's moving stuff, whether you're donating things, or whether you're going to do the estate sale, right? Okay, so here are some options for you to consider if you are wondering the conundrum of, do I do an estate sale first, or do I stage the house using the existing items? So here's scenario option number one, where if basically the main areas of the home need to be clutter free, right? That's the main thing. I know sometimes if you've inherited a home, there may be minimal things that you may want to consider about, helping to stage the house. For example, when, God forbid, my father-in-law's house, when he passes away, we have to sell his house, right? His home is not that cluttered. There's really not a lot of stuff. There has some furniture that he needs. There may be some minimal things we need to do in the kitchen, kind of clear the countertops and things like that. But there's really not a whole lot of things that would have to be removed, changed around, that kind of a thing when it comes to staging. So the other part that would be a lot of effort would be his two barns that he has full of tools and woodworking and just stuff. Big tractors and things like that need to be staged because they're barns. Now, what you would want as part of your staging is the aerial photography that you would want to see how much acreage you really get with this property. If you're into the equestrian, community and things like that, you can turn those barns into workshops and car shops, mechanics, those types of things. But you want to show off the space. Look, this is a 2,000 square foot barn. This is another 2,000 square foot barn. So there's things there that you want to show off, but you don't necessarily have to stage those types of things, right? He was in there as well. And then that may be something that you would partially stage, but not really, just want to show off the space and show that, hey, there's space down here to do other. Maybe it's an exercise room. Maybe it's, the kids' bonus room, whatever it be, the possibilities are endless, but you want to show off the space, maybe, right? So in option one, there isn't a whole lot you need to do, but it's the excess other things in the other outbuildings that is not that big of a deal, right? Option two would be to do your estate sale and then whatever money you make, because maybe there's a lot of items there that then once you empty out the house and sell everything, then you take that money that you sold and use that to help you get rental furniture to come back into the house, right? That is an option. Not my favorite option because or maybe you wanted to get some money from the sale and stuff like that, but the rental furniture could help you sell the house faster as well. You definitely do not want to sell the house when it's empty. I don't recommend that. It needs to have furniture to show off the spaces, to show off where the living room furniture goes. How big of a master bedroom is it? Can I fit a king size or a queen size bed in here? You definitely want to show off the spaces with furniture because you need to show the scale. Otherwise, the pictures will look blank and empty, kind of like this room that I'm sitting in right now because we're moving. And it doesn't give you a sense of scale. It doesn't show you, well, that's a carpeted room, but is that a playroom? Is that a bedroom? An office? What do I use it as, right? So when you have furniture in those places, that helps you determine how you can use that room and what things actually fit in there, right? So yeah, so option two, do your estate sale and stage it with rental furniture is an option, okay? Now, if you do have other home staging questions, maybe it's not about an inherited house, or maybe you're just questions about your house and getting it staged, I do have a home staging squad, as I call it, which is a group membership that I started on Facebook that I hope you would join me in this membership, because it gives you a chance for a small, low monthly fee to get in there and ask your questions, right? Maybe you're not sure of the wall color. Do I actually need to remove this or take this out? Can I keep this in here? Those kind of questions are most welcome. There are no stupid questions because it's your house. You're concerned. You see you in the home staging squad in this group membership. I'll leave the link in the show notes below so you can take a look. Option three, what you can also do is then this would be decide what needs to stay and what can go, right? This is when you get the expert to help you make those decisions, because maybe you're not sure, right? You don't know what needs to stay. When a home stager, when they come and has worked with occupied homes and does occupied home staging to help you decide what needs to stay and what needs to go. Okay. I have a friend of mine and a fellow home stager, Susan Atwell with Atwell Staged Homes. She has done this in Connecticut and New York. You can look her up and take a look. She actually has done a few of the inherited houses herself and is basically shopped, as I call it too, in their homes to find the items that work best in that room, right? And she actually wrote an article about it. I'll leave that link in the show notes so you can take a look at it as well. And you can see the transformations. Some houses have a lot more treasures in there than what would be needed, right, for the house to help stage it. And as you pull things out, you realize, oh, wow, this is a really big room. Oh, I can use this as an entryway, or this is a great living space or a bedroom, whatever it is, but you can't tell because there's too many things in there. So Susan did a great job in these pictures. I definitely recommend you taking a look, but this may be the best option for a homeowner is to have a home stager come to your house, help you decide, because maybe you made 1,000,001 decisions and you just want someone else to tell you what you need to do. I get that, right? So this is where we decide together, okay, these can stay in this room, but we need to, if you want to use this in the estate sale, we're going to put it in this room, or maybe it's a garage or a storage unit, right? If you want to donate it, that's a different pile. If you want to keep it, right? Maybe it's some keepsake that you want to have for yourself, put in a different pile, in a different room. Now, again, I'm not saying put these items in the rooms that you're staging. So for example, I wouldn't load up a bedroom with your keepsakes, right? You need to stage that bedroom as a bedroom, right? So if you have the garage space, you can definitely put them in different piles in the garage, or maybe you have a basement, an attic space, something like that, but don't make it overflowing so that the people who are looking at your home don't see the space. They want to see everything, right? You can neatly stack things up in different areas of the garage, no problem. That's fine. But basically work with the stager, work with your real estate agent to help you decide, okay, these items need to stay. These need to go. Okay, if these you want to sell in the estate sale, let's put these in the garage in this corner. These are things you want to keep. Maybe you already have a U-Haul truck to put them all into and get them out of there as quickly as possible. Same thing with donations. If you can have a donation truck come and pick them up as soon as you know and have them in a pile, get them out of the house and get them moving, right? Or if you have a trash pile, okay, this is just trash. It's broken. It's whatever. No one's going to want this. Throw it in the trash. So you have 4 piles. Keepsakes that you want to keep, donations, estate sale, and trash, okay? So those are the 4 areas. So if you don't like that option, one other option that my potential client brought up that I was like, well, that's one way to do it as well as a 2, and you just don't want to do too much more, right? maybe you have some people that are neighbors that are already interested in the house and they don't really care too much about what's in there. They just know, hey, it's a 2,000 square foot house, 2,500 square foot house, whatever it may be. And then we go, okay, I'm really interested in this house, right? Have them do the best you can with cleanup and things like that. Have them come in, take a look, give them a couple of days, a week, whatever to make their decision, and tell them, give me your best and highest offer. And if you don't like those offers, maybe you're thinking it should go in higher, then you call in the stager and then remove the excess and get this house staged that you want for pictures, and then get it listed with your real estate agent and put it out there on the market. So this fourth option is there's no pictures taken. It's just a kind of like an insider's view, if you will. If you know that there are some people that are interested in the house, that you don't have to do too much. That's an option, okay? But then you're still doing work later if you don't like the bids that come in, okay? So like I said, there are a couple options you can do when it comes to inheriting a house. Number one was basically there's not a whole lot. The main areas are, clutter free, but you have the barns and unfinished basement that are just stuffed with things. Those don't need to be as staged as much, but as long as there's pictures to show and give you the footprint of, well, how much one is you do the estate sale first, then use that money from that estate sale and get rental furniture brought in and have a stager help you bring the rental furniture in, right? And get it staged. Option three, which was my favorite that I kind of leans more toward, is have the home stager help you make those decisions to see which pile it goes into, and then stage it using existing furniture, get the pictures done, get it sold real fast, right? And then the fourth option was a two-pronged approach: declutter and clean what you can, give the insider's view of what the house, could sell for, get an idea. If you don't like it, then have the stager come in there and come stage it, take the pictures, post it online. Okay. So those are some options. I'm sure there are other ones. I would love to hear if you do have other options. Maybe you've done something differently or you've learned something from yours. I would love to hear that, right? I haven't done any inherited houses before, but like I said, my friend Susan has done those in Connecticut up there. Reach out, ask the questions, right? Okay. And before we close off, I do want to share with you my moving tip of the week. And that is to book your hotel for your stay, whether you're, have to stay in the area in the city that you're living in for a night before you actually leave, maybe 2 nights depending, and then book a hotel on the other end in the new city, new town, right? Definitely want to do that in advance as much as you can so that the rooms aren't, hotels aren't booked as much depending on your town. Some towns are really small and the hotel maybe 30 minutes away, like ours are. When I had to book our hotel, it's 30 minutes away. But yet our kids are still going to go to school for a couple of days before we actually catch our flight to get out of here. But definitely book your hotel early for your moving tip of the week. Okay. Well, I hope estate sales, what you should do, some options that you have. And again, I would love to hear if you do have things that, you've had to go through. I would love to hear that. Leave that in the comments below. All right. I hope you guys have a fantastic week and we'll talk to you later.